In a tale as timeless as the Asejire River, this African folktale unravels the gripping story of Princess Ademilola, a woman torn between love and ambition. Witness her relentless pursuit of Prince Adalana, whose heart belongs to a humble maiden, Jumoke. As Ademilola's envy unleashes a devastating curse, two kingdoms must band together to lift the shadow threatening their lands. Will love, unity, and redemption prevail over darkness? Join us on this visually stunning journey, filled with ancient wisdom, mystical encounters, and the enduring power of forgiveness. The golden lilies of the Asejire River carry a message for all. Watch to discover their secret. Don't miss this enchanting African legend brought to life. Watch now, and let the river's story flow into your heart. The kingdoms of Ilu-Ayo and Ilu-Ola were neighboring lands separated by a great river, the Asejire. Ilu-Ayo was a land of vibrant festivals, rhythmic drumbeats, and unparalleled beauty, ruled by the wise King Adewale and his equally revered Queen Olabisi. Among their many blessings was their daughter, Princess Ademilola. Known far and wide for her beauty and elegance, Ademilola was a vision of ebony grace, her presence commanding attention wherever she went. At 24, she was highly sought after by nobles and princes alike, but her heart remained untethered until she saw Prince Adalana. Prince Adalana of Ilu-Ola was a figure of charm and valor. Standing tall with an aura of authority, his presence left hearts racing. At 26, he was already a seasoned warrior and a beloved leader among his people. Though many sought his hand, his heart belonged to a humble but radiant maiden named Jumoke. Jumoke was no royal. She was a trader's daughter. But her wit, kindness, and unmatched inner beauty had ensnared the prince's heart. The day Ademilola first saw Adalana was at the annual river festival, a gathering of the two kingdoms. She was captivated by his strength, his confidence, and his striking looks. For the first time in her life, Ademilola's heart longed for someone beyond her reach. "That is Prince Adalana of Ilu-Ola," whispered her maid, Abeni, seeing the longing gaze of her mistress. "But they say his heart is not free." Ademilola's jaw tightened. She had never encountered a challenge she could not overcome. "Every heart has a key, Abeni," she said firmly, "and I will find his." Thus began a tale of love, rivalry, and the weaving of fate. Ademilola's curiosity about Jumoke grew with every passing day. The stories she heard about the humble maiden infuriated her. How could someone of such lowly status capture the heart of a prince? Determined to find out, Ademilola devised a plan. She disguised herself as a merchant and traveled to Ilu-Ola to observe Jumoke. At the marketplace, Ademilola spotted Jumoke. Her skin glowed like the sunrise, and her laughter was a melody that drew people to her stall. Ademilola noticed how the villagers adored her, how children ran to her for treats, and how even the elders sought her counsel. When Prince Adalana arrived to escort Jumoke, the love between them was undeniable. Ademilola felt a pang of envy. She clenched her fists and whispered, "This cannot stand." Ademilola's determination led her to consult the kingdom's oracle. The aged seer, draped in cowrie, shells, and sitting amidst a swirl of incense, stared deep into Ademilola's eyes. "You desire the heart of the prince of Ilu-Ola," the oracle said, her voice echoing with ancient power. Ademilola nodded. "Yes. Tell me how to win it." The oracle closed her eyes and chanted, "His heart is bound by love as strong as the Iroko's roots. To sever it, you must sow doubt, fear, and chaos. But beware, princess. The gods favor the pure of heart. If your intent is tainted, the consequences will be dire." Ademilola's resolve only hardened. She believed her love for Adalana justified any action. Ademilola's first act was to spread whispers of discontent. She sent a trusted emissary to Ilu-Ola to plant seeds of doubt about Jumoke's character. Rumors spread like wildfire, suggesting that Jumoke's family practiced forbidden magic. Adelana, however, was not swayed. He confronted Jumoke about the rumors, but her tears of anguish and steadfast honesty only deepened his love for her. Ademilola's plan had failed, but she was not one to give up. Ademilola decided to take matters into her own hands. She invited Adelana to a grand feast in Ilu-Ayo, using the guise of strengthening the alliance between their kingdoms. Her intention was clear: to charm him and make him forget Jumoke. Adelana attended out of respect for King Adewale. Ademilola adorned herself in the finest beads, her beauty unmatched. Throughout the evening, she spoke eloquently and danced gracefully, ensuring that all eyes were on her. Yet, Adelana's thoughts remained with Jumoke. When the feast ended, Adelana politely declined Ademilola's advances. "You are a remarkable woman, Princess Ademilola," he said, "but my heart belongs to another." For the first time, Ademilola tasted rejection. But instead of despair, it fueled her determination. Ademilola turned to dark forces. She sought the help of a forbidden priestess who dwelled by the Asejire River. The priestess promised to create a potion that would make Adelana fall for her, but at a steep price. "What is the price?" Ademilola asked, her voice steady. "A piece of your soul," the priestess replied, her eyes glowing eerily. Without hesitation, Ademilola agreed. She drank the potion and returned to Ilu-Ola, convinced that her victory was imminent. But the gods had other plans. When Ademilola approached Adelana again, she found him deeply troubled. The potion had not worked as intended. Instead of making him love her, it intensified his love for Jumoke. Ademilola was livid. Meanwhile, strange occurrences began to plague Ilu-Ola. Crops failed, livestock fell ill, and the once clear river turned murky. The villagers whispered of a curse, and the elders traced it back to the day Ademilola entered their land. The stage was set for a confrontation that would test the limits of love, ambition, and fate. The elders of Ilu-Ola called an emergency meeting. Prince Adelana was present, his face a mixture of worry and determination. The chief elder, Baba Ogunjimi, addressed the gathering. "The spirits of the land are restless," he began. "We must seek their guidance and uncover the root of this curse." Adelana spoke up. "We have welcomed many visitors recently, including Princess Ademilola of Ilu-Ayo. Could her arrival be linked to this misfortune?" The room fell silent. It was rare for a prince to openly question a royal guest, but Adelana's intuition was sharp. Baba Ogunjimi nodded gravely. "It is possible, my prince. We must proceed with caution." Ademilola, still in Ilu-Ola, learned of the meeting through her spies. She knew she had to act quickly to divert suspicion. Ademilola concocted a new scheme. She accused one of Jumoke's closest friends, Ayotunde, of stealing a sacred relic from Ilu-Ola's shrine. The accusation sent shockwaves through the community. Ayotunde was brought before the elders, pleading her innocence. Jumoke stood by her friend, passionately defending her. Adelana's faith in Jumoke never wavered, but the tension in the kingdom grew. Ademilola watched from the shadows, her lips curling into a satisfied smile. Yet, she underestimated the bond between Adelana and Jumoke, as well as the resilience of the Ilu-Ola people. One night, Adelana had a vivid dream. A spirit, cloaked in light, appeared to him by the Asejire River. "Beware the one who wears a mask of beauty, but hides a heart of shadows," the spirit warned. "Only truth and purity can lift the curse upon your land." Adelana awoke with a start, his mind racing. He resolved to uncover the truth, no matter where it led. Meanwhile, Ademilola grew restless. Her attempts to win Adelana's heart and tarnish Jumoke's name were unraveling. Little did she know her greatest challenge was yet to come. The curse's effects worsened, and the Asejire River, once teeming with life, became barren. Fishermen returned empty nets, and the river's waters began to poison the fields it once nourished. The villagers feared they had angered the river spirit, and more eyes turned toward Ademilola. Adelana sought advice from Baba Ogunjimi. The elder suggested a cleansing ritual at the river's source, a sacred place where the river spirit resided. But the ritual required the presence of all who had crossed the prince's path recently, including Princess Ademilola. Ademilola, upon hearing this, realized she had no choice but to comply. Yet she began to fear that her secrets would come to light. The journey to the river's source was arduous, cutting through dense forests and treacherous terrains. Adelana, Jumoke, Baba Ogunjimi, and a group of trusted villagers led the way. Ademilola followed reluctantly, her thoughts racing. Along the way, Jumoke's kindness shone brightly. She tended to the weary and shared encouraging words. Ademilola watched in silence, her envy growing. How could someone so simple command such respect and admiration? On the third night, the group camped near a clearing. Ademilola, unable to sleep, wandered to the edge of the camp. There, she encountered a mysterious figure cloaked in mist. "Your heart is heavy, princess," the figure said. "You tread a dangerous path. Turn back now, or risk losing everything." Ademilola's defiance flared. "I will not turn back! The prince will be mine!" The figure vanished, leaving her alone with her thoughts and a growing sense of dread. The forest surrounding the river's source was alive with a strange energy. Every rustling leaf and distant animal cry seemed to carry a message. As the group pressed on, Baba Ogunjimi began to chant protective incantations, sensing the spirits were restless. Jumoke, ever observant, noticed Ademilola's unease. She approached the princess during a brief rest. "You seem troubled, princess. Perhaps sharing your burden will lighten it." Ademilola forced a smile. "Thank you, but I carry no burdens. My focus is on completing this journey." Jumoke nodded, her eyes filled with sincerity. "Then may the spirits guide us all." That night, as the group slept, Ademilola was haunted by vivid dreams of the river. In her dream, the water turned to blood, and a voice echoed, "Your choices will shape the fate of many." She awoke with a start, her heart pounding. After days of travel, the group finally reached the source of the Asejire River. The sight was breathtaking, a cascading waterfall surrounded by lush greenery and shimmering stones. Yet, the water that flowed from the source was dark and ominous. Baba Ogunjimi instructed everyone to form a circle around the source. "We must call upon the river spirit and seek its forgiveness," he said. As the elders began their chants, the air grew thick with energy. The ground trembled, and the water began to bubble. From the depths of the river emerged a figure, the river spirit, adorned in flowing robes of water and light. The spirit's voice was both gentle and commanding. "Why have you disturbed my rest?" Adelana stepped forward. "Great Spirit, our land suffers under a curse. We seek your guidance to lift it." The spirit's gaze swept over the group, lingering on Ademilola. "The curse stems from deceit and a heart clouded by envy. Until truth is spoken and purity restored, the land will remain blighted." Ademilola's heart raced. She realized the spirit knew of her actions. The time for reckoning had come. The group stood in stunned silence as the river spirit's words echoed through the air. Ademilola's knees threatened to buckle under the weight of her guilt, but she clenched her fists, unwilling to expose her shame. "Great Spirit," Baba Ogunjimi began with a reverent bow. "How can we restore purity and lift the curse?" The spirit's glowing form shimmered as it spoke. "The truth must be revealed, and the heart stained by envy must be cleansed. If deceit continues to fester, The curse will grow until it consumes both kingdoms. Adalana, his voice steady but his eyes full of concern, stepped forward. If there is one among us who harbors such darkness, may they find the courage to speak now. Ademilola's heart pounded violently. She felt the spirit's gaze pierce her very soul. Yet her pride was a shield she refused to lower. The silence stretched on, heavy and oppressive. The spirit's tone hardened. The rivers cannot flow freely while lies bind them. The land will suffer until the truth flows as clear as water. As the group returned to their camp, the tension among them was palpable. Jumoke approached Adalana, her voice soft. The spirit's words weigh on all of us. Do you believe someone in our group holds the key to this curse? Adalana's expression was thoughtful. I don't know, but I trust the spirit speaks truth. If deceit lies among us, it must be confronted. Ademilola, overhearing their conversation, felt a pang of fear. She knew her window to act was closing. The spirit's warning echoed in her mind, but her desire for Adalana remained unyielding. That night, as the campfire crackled, Ademilola stared into the flames, contemplating her next move. Her inner turmoil was a storm she could no longer suppress. The following morning, Baba Ogunjimi announced the next step in the ritual. The river spirit has given us a task, he said. We must each offer a token of our sincerity to the waters. The spirit will judge our hearts. One by one, the group approached the river's edge. Each person placed a personal item into the dark waters, a symbol of their honesty and commitment to the land's healing. When it was Ademilola's turn, she hesitated. Her fingers hovered over the pendant she wore, a gift from her mother. It was a symbol of her royal lineage and a part of her identity. Reluctantly, she placed it into the water. The river glowed faintly as the pendant sank, but the waters remained dark. Ademilola's pulse quickened. Had the spirit seen through her offering? As the final token was offered, the river spirit reappeared, its luminous form towering above the group. The tokens you have given speak of your intentions, but one among you harbors a false heart. Adalana's gaze swept the group, his expression grave. Who among us holds the truth from the rest? The spirit's gaze fixed on Ademilola. Princess of Ilu-Ayo, step forward. The group turned to Ademilola in shock. Her breath caught in her throat as all eyes fell upon her. She wanted to deny, to run, but the spirit's presence was overpowering. Speak your truth, or the curse will consume all, the spirit commanded. Tears filled Ademilola's eyes. Her defiance crumbled as the weight of her actions pressed down on her. I only wanted to win his heart, she stammered. As Ademilola's words echoed through the air, the river spirit raised its arms. A radiant light engulfed the Asejire River, and the dark waters began to clear. Fish returned to the streams, and the air filled with the sweet sound of flowing water. The villagers watching from afar rejoiced as life returned to their land. The spirit turned to Adalana and Jumoke. The bond between you two remains unbroken, stronger than any magic. Together, you will lead with wisdom and compassion. Then, to Ademilola it said, you have faced your truth and chosen the path of humility. Your journey does not end here. Redemption is earned through deeds, not words. Return to Ilu-Ayo and guide your people with the lessons you have learned. Ademilola bowed her head, her heart heavy, yet lighter than it had felt in months. Thank you, Great Spirit. I will honor this chance to change. The group returned to Ilu-Ola, where the villagers celebrated the lifting of the curse. Adelana and Jumoke's union was solidified, and their love became a beacon of hope for their people. Ademilola, though humbled, was welcomed back with dignity. She shared her story with her parents, King Adewale and Queen Olabisi, who embraced her with love and encouraged her to grow from her mistakes. Months later, Ademilola stood on the banks of the Asejire River, watching its clear waters flow freely. She had begun initiatives to strengthen ties between Ilu-Ayo and Ilu-Ola, dedicating her efforts to peace and prosperity. The river spirit's voice echoed faintly in her mind. The path of redemption is long, but each step brings you closer to the person you are meant to be. Ademilola smiled, feeling the truth of those words. Her journey was far from over, but for the first time, she felt hope, not just for herself, but for the future she would help create. With the curse lifted, the people of Ilu-Ayo and Ilu-Ola began the arduous task of rebuilding their lands and relationships. The dark days of famine and misfortune had left deep scars, but they also served as a reminder of the importance of unity and trust. Ademilola, embracing her newfound humility, took the lead in organizing cultural exchanges between the two kingdoms. Festivals were held along the banks of the Asejire River, where people from both lands danced, sang, and shared stories. These gatherings strengthened the bond between the kingdoms and paved the way for a new era of collaboration. During one such festival, Ademilola approached Adelana and Jumoke. Her voice was steady, though tinged with sadness. "I want to thank you both. Your forgiveness has given me the strength to change. I will dedicate my life to ensuring our kingdoms never face such trials again." Jumoke smiled warmly. "You have already taken the first steps, Princess. Change begins within, and your actions speak louder than words." Adelana nodded in agreement. The strength to admit one's faults is a rare quality. Ilu-Ola recognizes your efforts, Ademilola. Together, we will build a brighter future. In recognition of Ademilola's efforts, King Adewale and King Oladimeji of Ilu-Ola proposed the formation of a council of unity. This council, composed of elders, warriors, and common folk from both kingdoms, would meet regularly to discuss issues affecting their lands. Ademilola played a pivotal role in the council's formation. She worked tirelessly to ensure all voices were heard, especially those of the farmers and traders who had suffered most during the curse. Her ability to empathize with others and her dedication to fairness earned her the respect of many. During one council meeting, a farmer from Ilu-Ayo stood and addressed Ademilola. "Princess, your humility and commitment have inspired us. We trust in your leadership and believe you will guide us wisely." Ademilola's heart swelled with gratitude. "Thank you. I am honored to serve our people. Together, we will ensure that the mistakes of the past are never repeated." One morning, as Ademilola walked along the Asejire River, she noticed something unusual. A cluster of rare lilies bloomed on the water's surface, their petals shimmering like gold. She knelt to examine them, and the faint voice of the river spirit echoed in her mind. "These lilies are a gift, a symbol of renewal and hope. Share them with both kingdoms as a reminder of what has been overcome and what can be achieved through unity." Ademilola carefully gathered the lilies and presented them to her father and King Oladimeji during the next council meeting. The kings declared the lilies a sacred symbol of the alliance between Ilu-Ayo and Ilu-Ola, and they were planted in gardens across both lands. Despite the newfound peace, challenges persisted. Ilu-Ayo faced a drought that threatened its crops, while Ilu-Ola grappled with the recovery of its livestock. Ademilola worked closely with Jumoke to devise solutions, drawing on the wisdom of their people. Together, they implemented water conservation systems and organized trade agreements that ensured both kingdoms shared their resources. Their partnership became a shining example of how collaboration could overcome adversity. During one particularly trying season, Adalana addressed a gathering of both kingdoms. The trials we face remind us of the strength we find in each other. Let us continue to work together, for our unity is our greatest strength. The crowd erupted in cheers, their spirits buoyed by the prince's words. Years passed, and the story of the curse and its resolution became a cherished legend. Ademilola's efforts to heal the divide between Ilu-Ayo and Ilu-Ola were immortalized in songs and tales, passed down through generations. The once envious princess became known as a wise and compassionate leader. Her journey from pride to humility served as a powerful reminder of the importance of accountability and redemption. As Ademilola stood on the banks of the Asejire River one final time, now an elder herself, she reflected on her journey. The river's clear waters mirrored the transformation she had undergone, and she felt a deep sense of peace. The voice of the river spirit echoed in her mind one last time. "You have fulfilled your purpose, princess. Your legacy will flow through these waters forever." With a smile, Ademilola turned and walked away, ready to embrace the next chapter of her life, one filled with gratitude, wisdom, and the knowledge that she had made a difference. The legacy of unity between Ilu-Ayo and Ilu-Ola flourished as the years turned into decades. The Asejire River, once cursed and dark, became a lifeline for both kingdoms. Villagers often told the story of the river spirit and the brave acts of Princess Ademilola to their children, who listened with wide eyes and awe. And so, the Asejire River flows still, carrying with it not just water, but the legacy of truth, love, and unity. From envy to redemption, from division to harmony, this tale reminds us that even the darkest moments can give birth to light. May we all learn from Princess Ademilola, Prince Adalana, and Jumoke that strength lies in forgiveness, wisdom in humility, and peace in togetherness. Let the golden lilies of unity bloom wherever your journey takes you. This is more than a story. It's a promise, a reminder that no matter who you are, you have the power to be a bridge, not a barrier.
Thank you for watching this special African folktale. If you were inspired by this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Tap the notification bell so you never miss another tale from the heart of Africa. What did you learn from the Asejire River? Tell us in the comment below. More legend, more love, more lesson. Only on latest release African Folktales channel. Until next time, may your heart stay humble, your words stay true, and your spirit flow like the river.